Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to this week's edition of the Digital Shop Talk Radio. I'm Tom Dorsey, and today we're going to be talking Digital Shop Conference 2021, which is going to happen next Wednesday. So we want to give you a little preview today of the event, talk about the schedule, how to get registered, how to share that registration link with some folks, your friends, and help them to get registered and get an idea. We'll be talking with several of the speakers and panelists today to give you a little teaser about the event, and so you can plan your day because you're not going to want to miss it. And so welcome, I think for the first time on Digital Shop Talk Radio, at least on this side of the camera, Lauren Thunen, our awesome event coordinator for Digital Shop Conference. Welcome, Lauren.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. I'm an avid fan. I watch you guys every week, so it's nice to be on the other side.
You do. And if you don't know Lauren, shame on you. But actually, I think since probably the second shop conference, back when we could actually stand next to each other, Lauren has been involved in executing the conference. And I got to tell you, I think Uwe and I basically did the first one probably together. And what a relief it has been to be able to hand off those responsibilities to Lauren Thunen, because if you've attended a digital shop conference, you know that it is top notch. And even though we are restricted with the digital conference again this year, well, actually we were, Lauren is able to pull these events together to where, the only thing you're missing is the plane ride. Honestly, we've got a full, and fantastic lineup again this year. We've got plenty of engaged vendors and sponsors available, and Lauren will be giving us an update about those. And then, of course, welcome back to the Digital Shop Talk Radio, Bill Connor, one of our member of our expert panel of experts. And Bill's going to be having a couple of different workshops or breakouts during the conference, and we're going to be talking with Bill, get a little teaser about what he's going to be teaching us next week. Welcome, Bill Connor.
Good to be back.
Yeah, buddy, glad to have you. And of course, our founder and CIO, Uwe Kleinschmidt, who Uwe will also be having a breakout and is, I think, participating on a couple of different panels as well. And we'll get a little insight into what Uwe's going to be talking about, because, Uwe tends to really, capture the good crowd, because Uwe likes to talk about the innovation side of it, the invention side of it, kind of what's on the horizon and things to come. And we're always excited and, to be able to get a peek under the hood and listen to those type of sessions with Uwe. So Uwe, welcome back to Digital Shop Talk Radio. Glad to have you on, buddy.
Thank you. It's always a blast.
Yes, sir. So let's get us kicked off, Lauren, if you could kind of give us an overview, and help folks out if, where are we at? How do they get registered? Where do they go? And then I think we'll kind of go over the schedule here a little bit and just give people an idea of, where they should bookmark their calendars and how to plan their day. And then we'll get some insight from our speakers. And I've got Fred Guestwicky's going to be joining us a little bit later to talk a little bit about his breakout he's doing with Kim Hickey, which is going to be a great one. And we'll get those updates at that time.
Awesome. Yeah. So the first thing I'll share about virtual conference is every single time I've had a conversation with Uwe about it and we ask the question or, he says and we do both. So that's kind of the theme of the conference, is we really want to get you all of the excitement and learning that you may be used to at a in-person event, and then kind of expand the accessibility by making it at no cost for all attendees, and bringing it right to your back of the shop or your home, wherever you're going to be watching from. So the first thing you need to know is getting registered is really easy. You're just going to go to thedigitalshopconference.com. And that first page that you go to is going to have on the right-hand side your registration. And then if you're already an AutoVitals current customer, select that ticket type. If you're not using AutoVitals yet, select the general admission ticket type. This is just going to kind of help us personalize your agenda for the day and also send you the accurate follow-up resources for more information. And then to talk about the event, it's really we are going to provide you all the resources to have a great experience, but within the platform that we're using, attendees really have a lot of different features that they can use to customize their experience and really make the conference the experience that you want to have. So there's going to be networking meetups where you can chat with other shop owners, as well as like the traditional keynotes, breakout sessions, and workshops that you're used to. The first thing that we have going is a keynote with Tom at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So want to mark that off on your calendar. And he's kind of going to be sharing, maybe the challenges of the industry this year, but looking really forward to how shop owners have used the data that we've seen in the industry to really how that experiences their shop in real life, and where they're going to take their shop in 2021 and beyond. So it's going to be a great session to kind of get you fired up for all the forward-looking sessions that we're going to have planned throughout the rest of the day. So you definitely don't want to miss that, starting at 8 a.m. again. And then throughout,
we're gonna have a pretty solid panel in that discussion as well. I've got John Long and Adam Benchik, the other half of our expert panel of experts will be joining us there, but also Russ Crosby, our king of culture, and who is also expanding his business during these times, as well as John Long. And then Roy Foster, who, if you folks have ever ran across Roy Foster or seen him on the show, I mean, the guy is just the consummate professional, always positive, always got a strategy and working on improvements, and really couldn't ask for a better panel when we're talking about kind of lessons that we learned from 2020 and then how to apply them into 2021 and really develop a solid battle plan for this year, based off of this kind of, because there's nothing worse for a business owner, right, is the unknown. And we're in this kind of environment that we really can't put any solid expectations around. Who knows what's going to happen next week? Who knows what's going to happen next month? So it's one of those things where you really have to hope for the best but plan for the worst. And this panel is really going to have some, I think, great discussions around those topics to help you folks out in charting the unknown waters of 2021.
Perfect. Thanks for adding some context there, Tom. And
Yeah,
when I was putting together the slide decks, I still had 2020 in the date because I just can't believe that we're already in 2021. And I think that's, when we had conversations about planning the Digital Shop Conference, it's really like, yeah, COVID, it sucked. There's no way around that. And it was really hard for business owners, but really it just accelerated a lot of the trends that we were already seeing in the market in terms of digitization. So it's actually a really great opportunity for us at this conference to kind of share, like, we just, now it feels like we're in 2025 with how much technology has progressed in the past year. And it's great to have a partner like Uva and like Bill and like Tom who are innovating for you, so you can kind of take a little bit of weight off your shoulders and how to use the tools the best way possible. So I think the conference is going to really give you an idea on that. Which kind of leads naturally into Uva's breakout, one of his breakout sessions on making the most of AutoVitals with our new solution implementations. Uva, could you kind of give us a quick overview of what you're going to be talking about in your panel and what exciting things AutoVitals kind of has coming for 2021?
Sure. I don't know how much I can reveal, but I can say as much that we're going to have turbo shops on the panel who discuss with us what new implementations we have done and tested productively in their shops, and then how do we take those results and make it even better. Because although COVID really sucks, as you said, it accelerated the digital way dramatically, and we will talk about how we're going to leverage that for the benefit of the motorists and the shop. That's all I want to reveal. Is that cool?
Well, how about panelists? Who's going to be joining you in that panel? You've got a couple solid folks. Matter of fact, I think I've had a couple of them on the show before.
Yes. So we're going to have Frank Scandura, and we're going to have Doug Brackett from beautiful Canada, and Bruce Williams, also River's Edge. We're going to have Jim Lautzenhauser from Big O Tire, so you see in what direction this is going, and maybe a few others. It all depends on, we want to show results, not many philosophical discussions, but what did we experience, and where do we want to take it to in 21?
Yeah, and Jim Lautenhauser's story, similar to Tom Braun, right? If you folks are familiar with Tom Braun, we interviewed him on Digital Shop Talk Radio not too long ago. Just another guy, in a tire franchise that just really, without support, kind of bucked the system, saw, an opportunity to differentiate himself in the market against his competition, and just wouldn't take no for an answer. Made it happen. Did the heavy lifting and did what it takes to get the digital inspections and AutoVitals workflow management in his operation, kind of, by bucking the system. And I mean, guy couldn't be happier, if you were throwing bags of money at him. And so really inspiring story, number one. But I think also, Uwe, number two is that it's really showing kind of a trend. It's when you look at that adoption curve, whatever you call it, from a software innovation roadmap, you really see where we're getting into the main street, right? We're starting to get into those more, I think, time intensive operations, where the processes and the margins actually, I think, prevented us initially from entering there. Can you speak a little bit to that point? Is how do you see that developing? And without giving away any of the insights in your from your breakout, but give us an idea of where do you see the digital shop moving in the next year to 5 years?
I see at least 3 trends. Trend number one is, and whether we want it or not, motorists make decisions on their own timeline, in their own control, with information taken from the sources they want. Right? I could go as far as and say CRM turns into VRM, meaning not the vendor manages the customer, but the customer manages the vendor, right? Because the information available to make decisions is just overwhelming, which is not a threat, it's an opportunity. Because if our customers are now the providers of the best information, and I don't need to select one of the 17,000 Google searches I found, an answer, then we are just adjusting to the new way of making decisions, which is transparency and information, and still be the ones which cater exactly to what the motorist is looking for, specific to my vehicle, specific to my circumstances, right? So that's one trend. Motorist decision-making is clearly, and it's following consumer decision-making as we all experience every day. Trend number two, I think I'm really excited to see how many shop owners share with us that they believe process is key, right? Whether John Long says, I test my shop with the hit by the bus rule, or Devin Arnold showed us in one of the DSTR episodes that he was decimated in staff and still put up numbers with 2 people because the established process in the shop with the workflow management system helped him to get there. So process is king, and it's easily said, and you can all put that on paper and you can shout it from the rooftop. It's a much different thing to implement it and make it muscle memory. And I'm excited to see that muscle memory is being developed and more shops embrace it. And the trend number 3, I would say, is, and you see that in our in my panel discussion, hopefully, the integration of third-party devices and the integration with third parties to create a bigger and better experience for the shop and the motorist is going to be a big trend. Whether that's text to pay or whether that's measurement devices in the shop, that's going to be a trend.
Yeah, and we were talking yesterday, actually with Carolyn from Shopware, and we were talking a little bit about that. As far as you really can't hide from this empowered motorist, right? It's one of those things. We're at the crossroads, right? You're either gonna accept it, and you're going to evolve and adapt, or you're going to go the way of the dodo bird or the Tyrannosaurus Rex, I think, because it's you're not going to go back, right? The supercomputer that we all carry around. Now, the important thing, because and I think it really boils down to that, is that I want to control the information, right? Has changed, because even when we first got started, gosh, 8 years ago, that's the environment we were in. 95% of the shops thought that they had to control the information and meter out that information when they saw fit. And that is such a conflict with somebody who then has all of this information in this phone. And I think that the big change has been, you're now the tour guide. You're the guide of the information. You're not the provider of the information. You're the person who's going to consult and help them because, it's like Uwe used to love to always say, right, is that the internet is a blessing and the internet is a curse, right? Is that there's so much information out there that's a blessing, but there's so much information out there and it's not always accurate and correct. That's a curse. And you have to really know how to kind of discern one from the other. And that becomes the new role of that service writer or the front counter in the shop, is not trying to provide the information. It's trying to give them some information and context around that information to help them make the right decisions. And that becomes, and that's a hard thing to, especially, old dogs and new tricks. It's a hard thing for a lot of people. But I got to tell you, since the time that we've been doing this, I think that side of the fence is a pretty small group of folks now. I really believe that in this short 8 years, 9 years, whatever it's been, is a sea change almost in the way that we interact with the consumer as an industry. And as we can see, and we've had plenty of those stories on Digital Shop Talk Radio, it is a boon. It is the key to success when you adopt these. And of course, there were folks that were early adopters and they were kind of leading the way, and everybody started chasing them. Frank Scandura, John Long comes to mind, all these guys. And now there's still those laggers. There's still those people that I don't know how to shake them loose, but they're holding on to kind of that legacy process with both hands. How do we move them forward? Do we just keep doing what we're doing? Do we just keep putting up more people that adopt and show success, and then hope that the rest will follow? What's going to be that, I think, that ultimate trigger to get them to make that decision?
Make it easy to start.
Yeah.
Quick wins.
Yeah, quick wins. Sure.
I don't know what else would be available.
Where I was going with earlier is that as we're starting to get more into these tire-centric type operations and some of these quick service type operations, that's exactly what it is. They wouldn't be adopting if it wasn't becoming easier to adopt. If that tried and true and verified process that pays off, and you can then just implement and trust it and go and collect the quick win. If that wasn't happening, we wouldn't be seeing that sea change. Would you agree?
But what I learned over the years, especially when we have shop owners as panelists, and we are asking a really direct question: how do you know when you're successful or not? Because often it has to get worse before it gets better, right? And the overwhelming answer was not, oh, I watch a few data like a stockbroker, and then I find out, right? The overwhelming answer was, you need to want it. You need to have a picture and a will for your shop. That was pretty impressive, in my opinion. So data is awesome, but if if there's not a relentless will to make it happen, you always find a reason not to do it.
Yeah, because it's scary and it's hard, and
Right.
you need that belief and you need the conviction to go behind it. And when we've had several instances where when we've talked to shops and they said, we adopted this thing and I introduced it in a meeting and everybody revolted, and I said, there's the door. And we've had shops that have actually replaced the majority of their staff because of the kind of the refusal or the inconsistent adoption. And I mean, I just think of them as really those trailblazers who for whatever reason had that vision and had that conviction. Because it's really hard. It's like, how do you prove that the word processor is going to be better than the typewriter if nobody's ever touched a word processor? Or how do you know that the cell phone is going to be better than the pay phone if nobody's ever touched a cell phone? How do you jump on board with that? And it really is, and that's the crux of what we.
But have you seen the first cell phones?
Yeah,
half an hour battery life, $4,000, 5 pounds heavy, and only worked outside of a building. I mean, just remember,
bald
right?
spots on one side of your head, the side that you put the phone. And who remembers roaming charges, right? Does anybody remember when we had roaming charges? If you drove across the street, it cost you $20 a minute to use the phone. It was crazy. I remember my first flip phone. It was the size of a brick. It was insane. I was driving truck back then. I had it bungee corded to the roof, and it used to hit me in the head sometimes and almost knock me out. And boy, how far we've come. And it's the same, I think, it really is the same adoption pattern, with the digital shop tools. But I think the bonus is, and what you're going to be hearing in Digital Shop Conference, is that now we've got proof. The proof is in the pudding. We've got enough people out there that have rolled up their sleeves, have taken that leap, and are out there shouting from the rooftops about their success. And then the rest of them that are, the laggards or the late adopters are saying, I got to get there. I got to catch up now, right? It's that fear of missing out. And, so we're really looking forward to, because that's what really makes the Digital Shop Conference shine, when you say, Lauren, is that, it's not just, right now on this panel, I guess it's Uva, Bill, and I, and, but in the Digital Shop Conference, you're hearing from folks that have lived it and breathed it and applied it. And they've got nothing to sell you. They've got nothing to sell you. They're just sharing their experience to help you be a better shop operator and to make a decision that could benefit you. And I think, again, some of these stories, when we're talking about expanding their business during COVID, when we're talking about, Russ Crosby on the other day talking about buying condos around the world so he can send his crew there. I mean, that's incredible, right? Those are incredible accomplishments and just ideas that probably, nobody ever thought about that 10 years ago. Who was going to do something like that?
There's also a commonality in success that we learn from shop owners we're working with, and that is, if they're the captain of the ship and they decide what the destination is, it makes it a hell of a lot easier for them to go ahead and plot the course. If they get blown off course, have an employee quit or whatever, they don't change the destination. They just go full bore to that destination because they're looking for the shortest trip to success. So that's something, the shop owners that we have that are really highly successful, that seems to be a quality they have. They don't let the crew go ahead and change the destination.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bill. They pick the spot and then they execute relentlessly. And like I said, into some, again, Tom Braun, Jim, Lautzenhausen, those guys who they didn't have support. They were in a, in a hard franchise for the most part. But they didn't even let that defeat them. Right. Shop turnover, we just talked about, guy had to clear his whole staff out. Wasn't going to let that hold him back. And it might've been tough. And it might've been uncomfortable for a period of time. But I think looking back, each and every one of them would tell you it was the best decision they ever made. And now they're very excited about 2021 and what's to come in their operations.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think kind of piggybacking what you were saying about it being shop owner and shop driven, the conference, that really differentiates us. And also it really makes the conference open to every shop owner from every walk of life, whether you've been using these kinds of digital tools for years, or you're just getting started. Our most successful clients and shops and friends, the early adopters and innovators, the reason why they're so successful is they're always innovating and always adopting along that course. And so I think that, while you might feel like, oh man, I'm just getting started and feeling a little lost, like our shop owners that are presenting are always trying to prove that their shop is the best in their area, in the industry, and always on the forefront. And if 2021 comes and we have to wear eye shields instead of face masks, they'll put on their eye shields and learn how to run their shop in that way safely. If now you got to be within 6 feet, they're going to transform their shop to do that. So I think that resiliency is really something that you're gonna take away from the conference, from the presentations and breakouts. I do want to kind of talk to Bill directly, and some of the feedback we got from last conference that we had in Marina Del Rey in 2020 now, back in January, was
yeah, we were one of the last in-person
yeah
conferences that ever happened, right?
and I was very sick at that conference, so I'm very glad that we're here and healthy.
You probably had COVID. We just didn't even know it.
We didn't even know what it was. But one of the feedback points that we got is it's great to hear from our shop owners and peers, but also let's get some more Auto Vitals training in there because we really want to learn how to maximize those solutions. So as part of Digital Shop Conference 2021, we have a few hour-long deep dive training sessions that are going to really give you that hands-on opportunity to look at your tools. And Bill is leading one on labor inventory management. So Bill, could you kind of just give us a quick teaser of how that's going to go?
So labor inventory management is one of my most favorite things because right now in the industry, any shop you go to, they're going to tell you, I need more techs. I don't have enough techs and so on. And what I've discovered over the years is that really there's a keen shortage of process that actually helps them go ahead and grow their staff where they're actually working together as a team and maximizing the time they're on premise. So labor inventory management to me is one of the keys to go ahead and building high paid, highly successful employees, and therefore generating revenues for the shop. So there's some key things to go ahead and learn from labor inventory management. And as one of that I know of, the only place that actually has labor inventory management tools that's highly visual for everybody, right down to the tablet level, that's what we're going to be covering. Not only what it is, what it means to you, what problem it solves in a marketplace, and then how to do it and how to set it up.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And in addition to Bill's session, Al Harris, who is one of our business control panel experts and makes the most complicated data really easy. He helps me understand a lot of things on a daily basis. He's going to be doing a session on the business control panel and how to use it not only to operate your shop and set goals, but also how to motivate your shop team to really achieve the success and make sure all the right crew members are staying on board and are paddling in the right direction so you can exceed those 2021 goals. So you don't want to miss that as well.
Yeah, and that's a great point. That's one of for folks that don't know Al, you didn't get into his breakout last conference. He had a lot of shop experience before he came to Auto Vitals, so he really brings that depth of industry knowledge along with him. He's and in that business control panel session that he's going to be running, it really is a critical. You don't want to miss that one. And to Lauren's point, Al's a funny guy. He's a great, he really has a great way of taking this complex information and just cooking it down into something simple and giving you a really smart plan on how to start implementation with business control panel. And on the Digital Shop Talk Radio, we talk a lot about business control panel because we know the power of it, right? And we're trying to get that across and share and just get you to at least take a look, right? Just try a thing and then see how it affects your operation, how it benefits you, and then grow from there. That is the fertilizer class that you want to attend. That is your growth class. Now that you've got your toes wet, you dip the toe, get into Al's breakout, because he's really going to show you, some really smart strategies and tactics to implement and adopt the business control panel, make it a regular part of your business and your operation.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And those sessions are inherently collaborative. So make sure you bring your pen and paper or your tablet to take notes. And also, I know Al isn't going to plan for an hour of just him talking to you. He really wants to get your feedback and work directly on some of the issues that you and your shop are having. Because if you're having that issue, speak up, because I guarantee everybody else in the room wants a best practice on that as well. So it's going to be a really great opportunity for you to get that extra hands-on training that is going to benefit you greatly in 2021.
And so, Lauren, if I'm he's going 9:10 to 10:10, right? Basically 9 to 10, and that's
Correct.
Pacific time. So, folks, so if you're marking these on your calendar, remember the hours we're giving you here on the show. That's all Pacific time. So do the conversion and make sure you mark that one down and put it in your itinerary, because you're not going to want to miss that.
Yeah, and then Bill's session is 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. So you definitely want to mark that down for labor inventory management.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And it's fantastic, Lauren, that you were able to get such kind of deep dive type sessions in here. And really, take that feedback from last conference and incorporate it into this year. And make those offerings, because, and we're kind of moving that way, even on Digital Shop Talk radios. We've introduced, the Who Wants to Be a Digital Shop Millionaire, and that's a really fun and educate, way to learn, and still have, it's edutainment, right? And at the conference, the same type of thing. It's great to hear the success stories. It's great to get, insights into development and innovation and new, features and partnerships that Auto Vitals is working on. But really, being able to get a good hour-long deep dive training into this product, especially for the price of admission, which is free, is invaluable. And we're going to run that alongside not just the Auto Vitals folks, but we've got also some shop operators that are donating their time basically to come in and do that exact same thing. And I got to tell you, that probably cost a pretty penny if you were doing that outside of the conference, trying to buy a couple hours of these guys' time. So take advantage of that. Make sure you mark it down. And again, for folks that are just now coming in, I see a lot of people that are kind of trickling in in the chat. Lauren has posted up the link. If you're not registered for Digital Shop Conference yet, make sure you get over there. It's real simple, thedigitalshopconference.com/register. And I'm sure you can probably just hit thedigitalshopconference.com and you'll find that link that you need. Make sure that you get registered. Make sure that you share that registration link with friends and family. And gosh, they don't even have to be friends, just people that you think are going to need help and would benefit from this conference, and give them that opportunity as well.
Yeah, and there will be sessions. So all the breakouts, will be 2 sessions going on at the same time. So just to let you guys know, all of the sessions are going to be recorded and will be available after the conference. So even if you're like, oh man, this sounds great, but my next Wednesday, the 27th, I'm slammed, just go ahead and register. So it's going to make us really easy to send you over the content. But really, try to carve out some time in your schedule for those sessions that you think might be most interesting, because I guarantee you the chat's going to be going crazy and you're going to want to ask questions and kind of, I know we're all missing that one-to-one experience with your peers. And we're going to try to recreate that as best as possible, so you can collaborate and connect with shop owners in a virtual way.
Yeah, that's a great point, Lauren. And really kudos to Lauren for testing and selecting the software platform that we're going to be using for this year, because it does really, kind of emulate that social experience, right? You've got this very robust chat functionality and kind of networking rooms and vendor spaces that you can, enter and leave and connect with people just like you were, at a live event. And so really take advantage of those. Get in there, and we're all becoming used to kind of these tools now. We're all used to Zoom. It's funny. I was having a conversation with a guy. I was watching the sunset the other day, and the guy says to me, "Hey, I was on a Zoom today. Did you ever think I'd be on a Zoom?" He's gray in the face, and I'm thinking to myself, well, gosh, I Zoom all day, every day, just about, right? But it's almost like digital inspections were to shops 10 years ago. It's becoming this new thing that you almost can't escape, and everybody's getting a taste of it, and everybody's getting just acclimated to it. And before you know it, it's going to be just a normal part of everyday life, Zooming, but really get in there and take advantage of this tool and collaborate and ask questions and introduce yourself and make friends in there, because that's really what this is all about. We'll put this thing on to help folks to learn and to earn. And we do it through the collaboration, and we do it through learning from folks that have gone before us, and that those folks are, so grateful that they're willing to give back, right? And share their experiences and help people to have that same type of an experience. And the only way that you're really going to take full advantage of there is you get in and you get active, right? And you contribute and you participate. So don't be shy. I mean, it's one thing to be shy when you're at a live conference. How can you be shy when you're in a digital conference, right? Nobody can see you, nobody can smell you. So just get in there and say hi to folks. That's going to be my input. Lauren, talk to us a little bit about the vendor space as well. We've got some great sponsors, and we want to make sure that folks are able to take advantage of that as well, just like a real trade show.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for asking. So the really cool thing about the event platform that we're using is it's really trying to create that expo hall booth experience. So we actually have time at the end of the day on the schedule for a dedicated expo hall where you can go and visit our online exhibitor booths. Those exhibitor booths have live video links embedded to them. So you can go ahead and join and actually chat with an exhibitor representative, and it'll let you know if they're available or away, if they stepped out for a second. So you'll be able to chat in, request more information. They're going to have some special deals and offers for you. So it is really, again, a chance to talk to the people that we either integrate with or have partnerships with, that we're both on that same course to help your shop succeed in 2021. Just like a quick overview of some of the vendors that are going to be there: ATI, Business Actualization, who helps with shop marketing; Drive, another coaching company, if you're not familiar; Hunter Engineering Company is going to have a booth at the event; Napa Auto Parts; Repair Pal; Shopware, who we just launched a version 2 integration with, so you're definitely going to want to check those out; and 360 Payments for digital payment solutions. So a wide variety of partners there that are all there to chat with you, help with your shop success. It's not a sales pitch. They just really want to get to know you better. And it'd be great for you to stop by and say hi. They, along with our shop owners, they're also what makes this event possible. So we're really lucky to have each of them there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think in some of those, they're going to even have like some soft demo, like videos loaded up. So you actually get to see, their solution in action. You won't really get hands-on yet, but that's up to you from your experience and follow-up to take it to that next level. But I think it's fantastic, the click to pay and that stuff, is really becoming, in demand, let's say. And it's great that we're going to have, a vendor there that's going to be able to show that integration with Auto Vitals. And you don't want to miss the Shopware stuff. As a matter of fact, coming up February 10th, we're going to be having on Digital Shop Talk Radio, Carolyn Coquette from Shopware and UVA talking about that version 2 integration that we've just completed with Shopware. And so you don't want to miss that one either. Get a sneak peek, definitely get the information, and get some, prepared in Digital Shop Conference. And don't miss February 10th. Mark your calendar, where we have Carolyn on Digital Shop Talk Radio with UVA, because you get an opportunity to ask direct questions through the show, the chat and Q&A. And as a matter of fact, today, feel free to ask us anything. chat in, your questions, use the Q&A button. If there's anything that you have a question about regarding the Digital Shop Conference, let us know, and we're here to help.
Yeah, and then one thing I want to make sure that we don't forget too is we're going to have a very exciting addition to the Digital Shop Conference this year. As you may or may not know, AutoVitals is now official, or BayIQ is now officially part of the AutoVitals team, and we're really excited. They provide if you're not familiar with BayIQ, it's customer retention and loyalty solution. So they're going to really be able to help us refine that process. They're going to be obviously a key exhibitor and sponsor of the event, and also John and Uwe, John, our new CEO, will be kind of giving you an overview of what that means, what the addition to the AutoVitals team means, and what that's going to mean for your shop in 2021. And it's all good things. So you definitely don't want to miss kind of the big reveal of our plan with BayIQ for 2021 and beyond.
Yeah, fantastic. That is a great point. Bill, I think you're doing, don't you got 2 workshops during conference? What else?
Yeah, I certainly do. And so what I do is I'm kind of like the ultimate optimist. I'm always looking forward to silver lining for every cloud. So COVID has actually went ahead and brought on and taught us a lot. And that is that it's really helpful when a customers do what we wanted them to do for the last 40 years, and that is drop off their car, communicate digitally. And now we also have the ability to have a non-contact delivery. So that's where the text-to-pay solution comes in. And I'll be covering, what kind of, what does text to pay solve for the shop? How do you communicate the ability to do this with your customer? And what is the value to the shop and the customer? So to me, if the customer can skip the counter, that's great. But the reason why, as an example, would be it's safer for them. They're not going to get sick by germs that are in the shop. And it's also safer for the service advisor. So there's a win for everybody. And the main thing we want to get across now is we've had this opportunity dropped into our lap. We've been trying to get customers to do for 40 years, stop the waiters and go ahead and get them to drop it off and do what we want. Now, if we can go ahead and spoil them with great service, non-contact delivery and everything else, now we've got a win and a home run. So that's what we'll be talking about, is leveraging the text-to-pay solution as another tool to go ahead and separate you from all the other shops in your area that might be just average.
And what time is that breakout going to be?
You're going to have to ask Lauren for that.
Well, that is a great question. Bill, we need to figure out what time works best for you. That's the best part about a virtual event, is we can make the schedule work however we want it to. So how about we do 10:30 a.m. Pacific time? How does that sound, Bill?
Pick a spot.
Perfect.
You're there.
Just as long as it doesn't overlap what you've already committed me to. Because
Yes,
I didn't
no,
volunteer.
never.
Now you're going 1 to 2 on labor inventory, man.
Yeah, I have your schedule in bright red. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Oh, also, Lauren, Tony Funderburg was asking, she wasn't in the beginning, and she's asking if we covered the agenda that's available, and how do they get their teams scheduled? Is there a way, once they get registered, they can start signing up for the breakouts? And a lot of folks have very specific breakouts that they want to send individual team members to, maybe not everybody into the same spot. So how would they go about getting registered and getting folks signed up for the right sessions?
Yeah, great question, Tony. So when you register for the conference, you're going to get a confirmation email from Excel Events. In that confirmation email with you and your shop team's tickets, there's going to be the link to the virtual event. Go ahead and click on that. And then there's the agenda tab is now live. And you can add sessions to your Google Calendar there. So then the best practice would be for each of your team members to go ahead and add those to their calendar and let them know what sessions you would like them to attend, or if it's an elective process, then to just go ahead and take a look at the agenda.
Awesome. Yeah. And of course, and Lauren, if there's so is there a support or ask a question once they get into the software? How do they go about, asking for some help?
Yeah, so on the day of the event on January 27th, there's going to be kind of a live help desk. There'll be a few Q&As. So right when you log in on the 27th, there's going to be a tab that says help. There'll be a few Q&As like, where do I go for this? That might answer your question. But then again, there'll just be chat the event organizer. That's me. The chat will go directly to me, and I can help you kind of get sorted if you're having any technical issues or anything like that. Before the event, If you want to reach me just to ask a few questions, events@autovitalsinc.com. That'll send directly to me as well, if you're having trouble getting registered or anything like that. So on January 27th, use the help desk at the conference. It'll be pretty clear. It's just going to say help. All of the navigation on the event management solution is just in a left sidebar. We recommend viewing it on your computer just so you have more screen to see everybody's beautiful faces and navigate the chat at the same time. It is also a mobile optimized website. So if you need to go out and grab a quick bite, you can keep listening on your phone. But all the tabs, so the keynotes are going to be on the main stage. There's the breakout tabs. That's where you're going to find all your breakout sessions. There's a networking tab to go ahead and jump in. And then there's an attendee tab if you want to kind of see if your friends are there, send them a message, or if there's a vendor you're looking for, you can find one of their representatives in there and send them a personal chat as well.
That is fantastic. So give us some more insight, Lauren. What other breakouts do we have coming up in the event?
Yeah, perfect. So as you mentioned, Fred and Kim Hickey from ATI, they're going to be talking about marketing best practices for your shop in the new year. So as we've talked about, everything is changing. And so you're really going to want to get ramped up on the most effective marketing techniques that Fred has seen work in his shop, as well as Kim Hickey and the rest of the ATI coaches are giving as a best practice for their shop. So again, some more great free knowledge from some industry experts. Additionally, Steve Diaz is going to be joining us. He's a shop owner as well as a trained accountant. And kind of the episode where Russ was sharing all of his plans for his shop and how he's taking care of his shop staff really inspired Steve to reach out to us. And he's going to be kind of giving a personal finance 101 to get that conversation started with your shop team about how to set up 401ks, those kinds of conversations that might be kind of hard if you're not professionally trained in that area. And it'll be giving you a bunch of resources on extra help to really get your shop set up to support and invest in your employees and contractors for the next few years.
Now that is awesome. I mean, what a great thing Steve's doing, and how critical, because as this kind of evolves, and as the margins get thinner and the competition gets tougher, and, I mean, I could only imagine, Russ has a line of applicants around his building to the level that he's taken the culture there, and kind of those fringe benefits that he's being able to offer. John Long also comes to mind. I mean, John, every Wednesday, I guarantee you, John's probably in front of the barbecue right now. He's cooking for his crew, and I'll probably be playing the bear video again on next Wednesday. But if you folks didn't see it when we had John on and Adam on not too long ago, just doing these fun projects as a team together and really just, firming up that culture, it's so invaluable. And so, thank you to Steve. Really looking forward to hearing his breakout, and what a great, gift really to folks to be able to get in and get some of that training and get some help and direction without having to spend all that money to hire the professionals to do it for you,
Yeah. And then we're going to have some top shops that have won some incredible awards, Regional Technician of the Year, Shop of the Year in different categories, that are going to be kind of presenting on their secrets to success. Hint, a lot of it is who you employ and the family-run nature of our shops. So they're going to kind of be doing like an interview style on what makes their shop tick on the regular day basis, the everyday habits and practices that they employ in their shop that have earned them the recognition from suppliers and service providers and partners like ourselves, as well as others. So I'm really excited for that, to kind of share those secrets of success. And then, as we mentioned, Bay IQ will be joining us for a few sessions to kind of talk about customer retention, how to incorporate tires into your shop, whether they're a loss leader or whether that's the primary aspect of your business, how to use those to generate more customer retention. And that's really their specialty, that loyalty program. So I'm very excited to kind of learn from them, their specialties about how to keep customers coming back into your doors.
Yeah, fantastic. And invaluable information, and just, can't thank the folks enough for, kind of donating their time to bring this information to us and to help us, as an industry to grow. The tool suppliers get out and, really innovate and have a vision, and it's all about solving a problem. But, that's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but it really takes these folks, these innovative folks that get out there and actually solve the first problem, and a lot of times it uncovers more problems and then they got to solve this. But their information helps you to navigate that, right? It helps you to avoid the pitfalls and stay focused on the prize and get there in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of effort, because they did all of the heavy lifting for you. And so you don't want to miss those. You want to make sure you mark those on your calendar and get in there and, talk to the folks, because let's say you can't make it or you got to watch it on the recording. That's the other portion of this, is that all these folks that are in here are the most open people I've ever met in my life. You ping them on Facebook, you send them an email. Pretty soon you're on a 3-hour phone call with them and they're just spilling they're giving you a consultation. It really is that active of a community. As a matter of fact, if you're not part of it, get in the Facebook forum now. Just get signed up now. You don't need to wait. Google Digital Shop Talk on, Facebook search Auto Vitals. You'll find those groups. They're private groups, but just request to join, and we're going to vet you a little bit, make sure that you're a shop owner, and and then bang, you're in, and from there, just it's so, in other words, the networking that you're going to experience in the Digital Shop Conference, it doesn't end. It just changes format and goes into the Facebook forum, and I tell you what, you have friends for life. Those folks out there, and just the help that they're sharing and what they're doing, and actually holding us accountable, holding our feet to the fire in your benefit, right? For folks that aren't, maybe you don't speak up, maybe you don't participate in there, but you got other folks that are doing it for you in there. Tell them thank you, right? If you get an opportunity to chat with them during Digital Shop Conference, tell them thank you. It really, helps benefit all of us when, they feel the love for the work that they're doing, and get some of that return as well. So again, don't be shy.
And really, while we all miss the one-on-one personal contact that we do on a live in-person conference, it's really kind of interesting that you doing the digital conference like this, it really relieves a lot of barriers. No plane transportation, car transportation, no hotel arrangements, and so on.
Bring the
So
whole
really, we've lowered the barrier for everybody to attend, and people are kind of running out of excuses. Learn, live, ask questions, then socialize on Facebook afterwards, and have recordings available. So, again, as an optimist, I think that this has really exposed some new tools that we can actually use to solve some other problems.
Yeah, Bill, that's a great point. There's a lot of benefits to it, right? Because one of the things that this whole situation has done is forced a lot of people to go digital, is not just in, the shop tools, but like the Zoom and other, a lot of people ordering delivery from, online delivery from, even from the supermarket now. I'm still trying to figure out how to get an online, digital haircut. If anybody's got any advice out there for me, I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to feel like
Save your head, save money.
Rapunzel or whatever. Yeah, I'm about to, man. It's getting to be ridiculous here. I need a bigger hat, right? My hair barely fits under my hat. But seriously, is that it's forced us kind of out of that comfort zone, and we made us change the way that we make buying decisions and do commerce. And one thing, it's just like adopting digital shop. It's a little uncomfortable at first, but then all of a sudden you say, wow, there's a lot of benefits here. Bringing my, it was great getting a pizza delivered, but now I'm getting my groceries delivered and I'm in my robe and slippers still. and folks come pick your car up, take it and service it, bring it back and drop it off, and you never leave the house. So, and with that text to pay, again, make sure you get into Bill's breakout, because you're not going to want to miss that. You're going to want to incorporate that into your business, because again, it's just another safety factor, and convenience factor for your customers what it's going to do. It's going to keep them engaged, and it's going to keep them coming back. And that's what's going to drive the number of visits per year those folks are coming in and seeing you. It really is offering, make it as simple as possible, as easy and convenient as possible, and then just get out of the way and let it happen, and be surprised at how you're able to grow your business even in these uncertain times. So what else do we got, Lauren? Have we covered all of the awesome breakouts that we're going to have?
Yeah, and there are more to come, and we're going to continue to build out the Excel Events platform. So you really want to get registered, digitalshopconference.com. That'll take you straight to registration. And then you're going to get your link to access the event platform. And then from there, you're golden. You're just going to click that on the 27th. And, just expect content from about 8 a.m. Pacific time, all through the afternoon. So, go in there, add the sessions to your calendar, build it around your work day, and then catch everything you miss in the recordings. And feel free to ask me questions, ask other shop owners questions in preparation. And we're just excited to see you there virtually.
One thing we haven't covered, is this limited to just shop owners, or we're going to invite service advisors, technicians, or whoever to breakouts that they want to attend to?
Yeah, it's open to your entire shop staff team. When you register, it's going to ask your role in the shop. So we can just, again, continue to personalize your experience. So just manager, service advisor, technician. I know in the past, shops have brought in their entire shop team to conference and said that it helped incredibly with buy-in, just because everybody kind of gets that 360 view of what the shop is doing on a macro level. And because of that, it makes it a lot easier to all stay on the same course. So I think it's incredibly valuable for the entire shop team.
Yeah, I just asked for sure because labor inventory management is really near and dear to both service writers and technicians also. And so that's the purpose of my question.
No, that's great. And to Tony's point, that's not a bad idea for this Friday's shop meeting, is to get that itinerary out and start divvying up the schedule on where you want folks to go. Because, like Lauren was saying, a lot of them are running in parallel, and you got to attend one or the other if you go as a group. But if you break it up and you send your techs over here, your riders here, or whatever, and then you can all huddle back up next week, the week after, and talk about those experiences, give a little synopsis of what happened, and make sure that, we've got those recorded links so that everybody can review that in their own time and learn the same lessons, and then game plan around how to do the implementation and incorporate that into your battle plan for 2021.
Yeah, we had a lot of shops that at our last live conference, they took and they assigned their employees to go to different breakouts. And then it was their job when they got back in the shop to go ahead and transport that knowledge to the rest of the staff. The only difference now is they'll have a video to work with, but they can still go ahead and ask their questions live to make sure their particular shop is represented.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I'm really excited. I'm excited every year. I mean, I just love to help people. I love to be, and it's like every year just gets better and better and deeper and deeper. And you know what? As a matter of fact, we're not exclusive. So if you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, why didn't we call you and ask you to do a breakout at Digital Shop Conference? Reach out to us. We'd love to talk with you. We'd love to, get a different perspective, and just more knowledge is always more and better. And so don't be shy. Don't be shy. We'd love to work with you in the future for sure. Uwe, any parting shots? We got a couple of minutes till the top of the hour.
I actually have to hop off real quick because I have the next and greatest thing to jump to get this prepped for you guys. But thank you so much for having me. And if you have any questions, just reach out at events@AutoVitals Inc. Thanks, Tom, Uwe, and Bill.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated. Well, fantastic.
And so she's gone.
That was Lauren Thunen. She is dynamic, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I just want to say it's a little different in format, but the content is as good as it has been in the most successful digital shop conferences, especially through the panelists and shop owners.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Mark
And I
your
They
hope
won't
you
have
can
to worry
join.
about getting a seat in front to be able to see well.
That's true.
True.
Or find it, or it attended, especially in the first one, it tended to be the back rows fill up first. It's weird. So you don't have to worry about fighting for a back seat. Maybe it was because they thought I was going to pick on them or something, or I'd be singling people out, which I did, of course. But I start at the back row anyway and work my way forward. So I don't know how that worked out. Now, guys, I appreciate you coming on and giving us some insights. Really looking forward. Again, it's next Wednesday. It starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Get registered at thedigitalshopconference.com. And we look forward to seeing you there next week and participating and making you a regular attendee. If you haven't become a regular attendee of our conferences yet, you will, because it is going to be a fantastic experience. You're going to learn lots, and it's going to translate directly into dollars. I guarantee it. I mean, I can't even tell you. Matter of fact, one of the first Digital Shop Talk Radio episodes we ever did was right after conference. It was where a shop learned and earned the next week and came on and shared with us this incredible growth in their ARO and a couple other key metrics that happened right out of conference. I mean, it was incredible. And that's really what inspired us to continue to do the Digital Shop Conference and to build it into what it is today is like what Uwe loves to say, is how do people come away from here and get those quick wins where they can implement something immediately and then it pays off immediately. And that's what you're going to experience next Wednesday. Same type of value, right? That you can take to the operation the very next day. And that's what we love to see. So thanks again.
So the tip of the day would be, if you got a competitor that's driving the prices in your market down, invite them guys to the conference so they go and learn how to go ahead and price accordingly, deliver value, and kind of turn that around.
That is great. Yes, I couldn't have said it any better, Bill. Appreciate it. Oh, real quick from Julie Crawford, this was a great presentation on the event. Thanks for the time. Sounds like an amazing event. Can I request that you please send my assistant copy of the link to this recording when over today so I can share with the team? Yes, definitely, Julian. For everybody, we're going to I'll have a landing page up. It'll be autovitals.com/DSTR_103. I know it's a little long, but I'll be sending a follow-up email and that link will be in there with it. And it's going to have the registration link in there. It'll have a copy of this today's episode. And of course, some other nuggets in there and helpful information for you as you get ready for Digital Shop Conference next week. Appreciate the comment, Julie. Appreciate your attendance. And for everybody, appreciate your time and attendance. Looking forward to talking with you next week in the Digital Shop Conference. Until then, get out there and make some more money and get registered. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.